Thank you for tuning into Zim Newsbeat TV.
How Floyd Shivambu caused MK party downfall and real reasons why Zuma eventually demoted him. Julius Malema celebrates. In the intricate world of South African politics, alliances can shift, and fortunes can change in the blink of an eye. This is the story of Floyd Shivambu, a prominent figure whose journey from the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, to a high-ranking position in the Umkhonto weSizwe, MK, party, and subsequent downfall, is a stark reminder of the volatile nature of political power. The narrative unfolds against a backdrop of controversial religious figures, internal party conflicts, and the ever-present influence of former President Jacob Zuma. The seeds of Shivambu's undoing were sown during the Easter weekend of 2025, when he made a visit to Prophet Shepherd Bushiri, a Malawian pastor who was at the time a fugitive from South African justice. Bushiri, a charismatic preacher, had built a large following in South Africa, but he was also facing serious charges of fraud and money laundering. His escape to Malawi had become a major embarrassment for the South African government, and a sensitive issue for many. Shivambu's decision to visit Bushiri was immediately met with criticism. Justice Minister Mameloko Kubai publicly condemned the visit, calling it a blatant act of disrespect towards South Africa's legal system. She argued that it would only encourage those who thought they could evade accountability. The MK party itself distanced itself from Shivambu's actions, claiming that he had undertaken the visit in his personal capacity, without the party's knowledge or approval. At this point, Shivambu could have chosen to defuse the situation. An apology, or even a simple acknowledgement of the controversy, might have been enough to quell the rising discontent. However, he chose a different path. In a television interview, Shivambu boldly asserted that his visit to Bushiri had been sanctioned by none other than Jacob Zuma, the leader of the MK party. This claim was quickly refuted by the party's spokesperson, Nhlamulo Ndlela, who stated that the party stood by its initial criticism of the visit. Instead of backing down, Shivambu doubled down. In another interview, he declared that he would never apologize for visiting Prophet Shepherd Bushiri. He also expressed his conviction that joining the MK party was the best political decision he had ever made. These defiant statements, made in the face of mounting criticism, would ultimately seal his fate. To fully understand the significance of these events, it's important to rewind a few months and examine Shivambu's entry into the MK party. In August 2024, Shivambu made the surprising move from the EFF, where he had served as deputy president, to the MK party. Zuma, who had known Shivambu since his days in the ANC Youth League, welcomed him with open arms. Zuma praised Shivambu as a real politician with scientific politics, an honest politician who made decisions at the right time and for the right reasons. However, Shivambu's arrival in the MK party was not without its detractors. Some senior party members questioned his rapid ascent to positions of power. Within weeks, he was appointed as national organizer and then secretary general. These individuals pointed out that just months earlier, Shivambu had been actively campaigning against the MK party during the May 2024 elections. The concerns about Shivambu's leadership were further fueled by the MK party's performance in a municipal by-election in Ward 33 in eThekwini. Shivambu led the party's campaign in this election, which should have been an easy win, considering the DA's struggles and the ANC's decline in the area. However, the MK party's vote share dropped significantly, raising questions about Shivambu's effectiveness as a national organizer. Despite these setbacks, Shivambu was appointed as Secretary General in November 2024, as the MK party prepared to celebrate its first anniversary. During this period, allegations surfaced that Shivambu was attempting to centralize financial control of the party, seeking sole authority over its funds. This move further alienated him from some of his colleagues. The MK party's first anniversary celebrations in Durban were marred by logistical problems. Despite having secured a large number of votes in the May elections, the party struggled to fill the Moses Mabhida Stadium. Traditional leaders boycotted the event after being denied entry, and hundreds of supporters were unable to attend due to a lack of transportation. Shivambu apologized for these issues, but the damage had been done. Internal tensions continued to simmer. In February 2025, Duduzile Zuma, Jacob Zuma's daughter, launched a tirade against Shivambu on social media, calling him the worst thing that happened to MK and useless. She even referred to him as Mafikizalo, a derogatory term for a newcomer. While Duduzile Zuma was later instructed to apologize, her outburst reflected the growing discontent within the party. In March 2025, Mxalasim Thethwa, the MK party's Zululand coordinator, publicly criticized Shivambu's leadership, citing poor decision-making, lack of consultation, and abuse of power. Mthethwa and others accused Shivambu of appointing his own people to key positions within the party. In the same month, Shivambu faced criticism for imposing strict controls over access to Jacob Zuma. He issued a directive stating that all MK party representatives were forbidden from seeking direct meetings with Zuma without first consulting with party officials. Shivambu defended this decision, arguing that it was necessary to ensure that issues were properly vetted before being brought to the president's attention. The culmination of these events led to Shivambu's demotion from Secretary General on June 3, 2025. Nkosinathai Nlako, the party's national chairperson, explained that Shivambu's visit to Bushiri was the final straw. He stated that the visit was not officially sanctioned by the party or Zuma, and therefore violated the party's constitution. Nlako emphasized the seriousness of the matter, stating that it had implications for the party's image, values, and principles. He announced that Zuma and the national officials had been left with no other option but to act swiftly. As a result, Shivambu was redeployed to Parliament as an ordinary member, where the party is led by Chief Whip Colleen Makub and Party Deputy President John Hloff. At the same media briefing, Shivambu apologized and accepted his demotion. He affirmed his commitment to the MK party and stated that he fully accepted the decision of the national officials. Zuma, who has the authority to appoint and dismiss leaders at will, is now tasked with finding the MK party's fifth Secretary General in less than 18 months. Zuma addressed the situation, stating that it was important to clarify the party's relationship with Bushiri. He said that the decision to demote Shivambu was made out of respect for the people the party represented. In the aftermath of Shivambu's demotion, Julius Malema, the leader of the EFF, weighed in on the situation. Malema downplayed the significance of Shivambu's new role in Parliament, suggesting that the EF's influence would not be diminished. He stated that he did not work with Shivambu and that Shivambu would not be able to undermine the EF's superior logic. Malema also addressed the issue of black political unity, responding to criticism that the EFF had not shown a willingness to unite with other black-led parties. He argued that the EFF had always advocated for black unity, but that forming a new party and then calling for unity was disingenuous. Malema also commented on the developments involving Imogen Mashazi, the Ikurhilani city manager, whose contract was set to expire in August. He clarified that the request for Mashazi to go on special leave was expected and not controversial, comparing it to similar practices followed by high-ranking public officials nearing retirement. In conclusion, the story of Floyd Shivambu's rise and fall within the MK party is a complex tale of political ambition, internal conflicts, and controversial associations. His decision to visit Shepherd Bushiri, his subsequent defiance in the face of criticism, and the underlying tensions within the MK party all contributed to his downfall. The events highlight the ever-shifting landscape of South African politics and the challenges of maintaining unity and stability within political organizations. Real reasons why Floyd Shivambu dumped Malema's EFF and what made him join Zuma's MK party, the inside story. Floyd Shivambu's dramatic departure from the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, has shaken South Africa's politics, leaving many wondering about the real reasons behind his decision and his sudden allegiance to former President Jacob Zuma's MK party. While the announcement of Shivambu as the MK party's national organizer came as a surprise to many, insiders reveal a carefully orchestrated plan that ultimately took an unexpected turn. Shivambu, the former EFF deputy president, had been planning his exit for some time, disillusioned with the current state of South African politics. This disillusionment was a significant driving force behind his decision to leave the EFF, confided a close associate. Shivambu intended to make his move public at the EFF's national conference in December, declining nomination for a leadership position and announcing his departure from the party. He was even planning to take a political sabbatical, reflecting on his future and starting a national dialogue to address the state of South African politics. Floyd was planning to ignite a fire of political debate and allow people to burn their political differences to build a stronger black progressive caucus and prepare for the 2029 elections, shared another source with intimate knowledge of Shivambu's plans. However, the allure of a fresh political path proved irresistible earlier than anticipated. While Shivambu's discussions with the MK party came as a shock to the party's leaders, the offer of significant responsibilities and influence proved too enticing to resist. He signaled his urgent need for a new platform, and the MK party's enticing offer sealed the deal, revealed a source within the MK party. Interestingly, Shivambu did not encourage EFF members to follow him, suggesting a desire for a clean break and a different vision for his future. Floyd seems to suggest that something personal happened to him that forced him to leave EFF and join MK, but nobody knows what happened, added another source. The MK party, recognizing Shivambu's strategic value, has given him substantial powers to shape the party's structure and ideological direction. This rapid ascension underscores their eagerness to leverage his experience and substantial political network. But the backstory adds another layer of intrigue. A senior ANC leader revealed that Shivambu was considered for a ministerial position in President Cyril Ramaphosa's Government of National Unity, provided the EFF agreed to join the multi-party coalition formed after the May 29 elections. These discussions date back to 2017, indicating long-standing efforts to integrate EFF members like Shivambu and EFF President Julius Malema into Ramaphosa's cabinet. According to a source with intimate details of the talks, Malema could have become the Minister of Minerals and Energy if the plan had come to fruition. However, the anti-EFF faction of hardliners within the ANC thwarted these plans, and subsequent negotiations between the ANC and EFF for the Government of National Unity faltered, leading to the DA becoming the ANC's preferred partner. Shivambu's immediate future in the MK party involves an extensive familiarization tour. He will spend the next month engaging with party structures across the country, listening to conveners at various levels, said a source in the party. This period is crucial for Shivambu to understand the internal dynamics of the party and prepare a comprehensive action plan. Only after laying the groundwork will Shivambu articulate his strategic plan to advance the MK party's objectives. Meanwhile, Bongani Mdakane reports that former president of the EFF Student Command Seal Lonza has published on social media what appears to be a war of words between him and Shivambu over the latter's decision to leave the EFF. Trouble in Paradise, Jacob Zuma threatens to expel his daughter Duduzile Zuma from MK Party for messing up with useless Floyd Shivambu. The Umkhonto we Party, MKP, is embroiled in a public spat after former President Jacob Zuma threatened to terminate his daughter Duduzile Zuma Sambadla's membership if she fails to issue an immediate apology to the party and its structures. This ultimatum comes after Duduzile launched a scathing attack on MKP's Secretary-General, Floyd Shivambu, via social media. The incident, which has stunned the public and ignited widespread debate, began when Duduzile Zuma Sambadla posted a series of explosive messages on X, formerly known as Twitter, directed at Shivambu. She shared a picture of Shivambu captioned, "Floyd, I'm not scared of you. Tell your minions to F off. Bloody Mafikaizalos." This was followed by further posts that read, "F you Floyd and worst thing that happened to MK." Zuma Sambadla even alluded to the possibility of her expulsion, stating she was okay with it. While tensions between Zuma Sambadla and Shivambu had been simmering for some time, Monday's outburst confirmed the existence of a significant rift within the party. The underlying causes of their feud and its potential impact on the MKP's political dynamics are now the subject of intense speculation. In a media statement issued in the early hours of Tuesday morning, Zuma condemned his daughter's actions as a violation of the party's strict disciplinary code of conduct. Zuma described the social media posts as insulting and disrespectful towards Shivambu in his capacity as the party's Secretary-General. He further characterized the posts as divisive, denigrating, and offensive, emphasizing that such behavior directly contradicts the values of unity, respect, and discipline that form the foundation of the MK party's mission. The Umkhonto Wesizwe party acknowledges the recent public post on X made by MK member Commander Duduzile Zuma. These posts are insulting towards the Secretary-General of Umkhonto Wesizwe party, consisting of a direct violation of the party's disciplinary code of conduct, the statement read. Zuma has now demanded that Duduzile issue a comprehensive public apology. Commander Duduzile Zuma must issue an unconditional public apology to the Secretary-General, the President, members, supporters of Umkhonto Wesizwe, and all the people of South Africa, he stated. He further instructed, she must also extend a formal apology to all structures she serves in or leads, including the Southern Caucus of the Pan-African Parliament. Zuma insisted that these apologies must be made immediately, after which an internal disciplinary process will be initiated in accordance with the MK party's constitution, code of conduct, and all relevant prescripts. Zuma emphasized that the MK party operates under a strict set of principles that demand full adherence to its constitution and code of conduct. Umkhonto Wesizwe party is a movement of the people, grounded in maximum discipline and strict adherence to the disciplinary code of conduct. No member, regardless of position, is above the constitution of Umkhonto Wesizwe, he said. He warned of severe consequences if his daughter fails to comply with his directive. Failure to comply with this directive will result in immediate consequences, including the summary termination of Commander Duduzile Zuma's membership in Umkhonto Wesizwe party and her recall from all party responsibilities, Zuma declared. In a defiant post on X, Zuma Sambadla appeared to anticipate her expulsion. They will expel me tomorrow, it is well with my soul. Oxaleo Floyd is useless, she wrote. They will expel me tomorrow, it is well with my soul. Oxaleo Floyd is useless. Number Wesiyu.
For these and more stories, tune in to Zim News Bit TV.